Let's see what we got going on today. Hey, T-Sippers. T-Sippers. I was expecting a verdict by now. Were y'all expecting a verdict? Yeah, we got a lot going on today. Every day. Ooh, baby, they got P. Diddy looking hulled out, don't they? I sure hope they don't beat that man in jail. Was it Ohio? That killed that, ran his car into that police officer who shot his son. I saw it. I read it the first day. And I knew it was something. Did somebody send it to me? I don't remember. I knew it was something wrong when they had that press conference and that lady didn't want to show the video of that man talking about that he had a gun. See, that's what I be trying to tell y'all. They make them rules and they break them. Y'all come on in. I thought you had the right to carry a gun. Don't you have a right to carry one? Hey, Tashawn. Didn't they make it so that you could have the right to carry one? So if he wasn't pointing it, what you shoot him for? Because he had a gun. Also, you shot him because he had a gun. I thought he had the right to have one. Then they started lying and said that he thought that he was pointing it. But they left that out and said that that was under investigation. So, do we have a right to carry a gun outwardly? Live and in living color? Or do we not? That police officer who Trump is trying to give immunity to, right? Said he shot him because he saw a gun. And he wasn't even the person that he was chasing. So what you shoot him for? Then the next day his daddy lose it. Snap, crackles, and pops. And take out another cop. My. One day, I hope it don't be too late. Y'all don't see the trap that they done set to do. She said, welcome back. Said that, shout out to Stop Playing. Hey, Cynthia. I hope it don't take us a long time to see that trap that they done laid out there. So which one is it? Can they shoot you for having a gun? Or do you have the right to bear it outwardly? Like Kyle Rittenhouse did, walking down the street with one. Semi-automatic. As a minor. That his forefathers wrote the laws. Ain't that what he said? So what they shoot old boy's son for? Because he had one. He wasn't the right color. Okay. 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 I saw Smash Topic. He he had a guy in Waco sitting in his car, and the police was telling him to get out the car. He on the phone. He said, "I ain't going nowhere." They kept saying, "Sir, get out the car. You can't make me get out this car." He calling his baby mama, his wife, or whoever on the phone. You know how we do. Baby, hey, he messing with me. He told that white girl or some, he just cause he doing this cause I'm black. He done got on there walkie-talkie and called us for some backup. Said, "Sir, get out the car. You're under arrest for not obeying the command or something." He said, "I don't remember." Tased his ass, got his ass up out that car. And here I go. I don't know what make y'all think that y'all don't have to, obey the commands. They're going to use any and every reason to shoot that ass down. That's what's coming, y'all. So all I'm going to do for my tea sippers is try to forewarn, give y'all the little baits, the little nuggets that they putting out there. Because as soon as it go into full effect, they going to shoot to kill. Because you didn't do what they said do. And guess what? That president that y'all insisted on bringing back, going to give them full immunity to shoot that ass down. This trial here may be the last one. They probably don't care too much about it because it's black on black crime. You know how they do. I wasn't supposed to say that. Ooh, okay. So listen, it's a couple of things going on. Finesse, his ass getting in some more trouble. His other little brother and his daddy got arrested. I see. It's a family affair. Not a fair. A foul. Because didn't his mama get in trouble a few years ago? Only person that is still free willy is No Love, the one that went a different route, that his brother kicked out, had them folks jump him and shit. Reckon that was a good thing. Hindsight 2020. Reckon that was a good thing. Yeah. Him the only one. So listen. Oh, and the song. Black Youngster. Ain't it been popping out here lately? Y'all think Black Youngster done snitch? He done found out there's a snake amongst him. He got the news a little late. Maybe he been knowing, and that's why he told a little bit. So we gonna listen to Snake. He don't want to shake your hand no more. You was all up in his face, snaking. Yup. Hit the like button. And is it gonna be a mistrial? Did y'all expect for them to deliberate this long? Did we expect that? Did we expect that? So we gonna listen. We gonna listen to today the prosecution closing. Oh Lord. But before we do, we gonna listen to Black Youngster. Tell me, see if y'all can tell me, oh, that man didn't get no bond. And there's another trial going on right now with somebody that was doing a stabbing. I'm going to have to check it out. I said, They try to act like Carmelo Anthony was the first case of a stabbing or something.
And so, any instructions that you all have?
But he was a WB again. Didn't we just have a trial with a WB stabber? Yeah, they sure can keep a hush-hush and a closed mouth when they are WBs, baby. But if he was a BB or a brown B, oh yeah. Y'all have been all over the place. Y'all want to listen? Can y'all hear that? Do I need to slow it down? Can y'all hear it? Be respectful. Yeah. Oh, y'all gotta act right now, baby. Stop playing back. She said I'm back. Can y'all hear this? Cause I don't know if I'm buffing. So let me see if. Yeah, this is Black Youngster's new one. Snake. I'm solo dolo. So didn't I just ask y'all last week? Right, where was that C? Didn't I ask y'all that? Didn't I ask y'all where was that C? Where Lamika? Where Lamika? Where Moneybag? Where YOGOTTI? Who done snake Black Youngster? Now Black Youngster now, let's keep it real. Is it because of the new Dallas, or is it because your name done came up? Is it because what? Because now we gonna keep it 100. Your charges got dropped in Dallas. And you was a convicted felon with firearm. How that happen? But let's listen to your song now. Go get a snake, don't shake my hand. What y'all think about that? Snake. Who y'all think he talking about? What got it done this time? What got it done this time? Huh? I don't know what he done, but I will tell you this. Black Youngster, he frequents Texas, baby. He frequents Dallas. Him and Mo3 was pretty cool. It's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of similarities. But I'm not going to stay here on Black Youngster. Okay? How long we been talking about them falling out and divorcing? Crooked, backdooring. Ooh, that back door is bad, ain't it? You might as well board that bad baby up. Stop opening the back door. Just in case you forget to lock it, cause baby, the back door is real. Okay, a lot of back doing. Okay, let's go. Let's move on, baby. We got some business to take care of. We got to see what's going on with this trial. And what happened today? I saw old boy pop out with that background. He ain't say nothing. He was just sitting kind of chilling. And I'm like, okay, are we? And then I see, hold on, let me get out of Black Youngster's backyard. Yeah, because them folk he be hanging with ain't loyal. You know what I mean? Yeah, where's that? Not there. Yeah, David stabbing. Yeah, check that out. Hold on. Hold on. Then I saw all that deliberation and Lord, they not gonna have no verdict. Then I saw this. But if y'all missed it today, so this is around the time I guess he must have got the word that they wasn't doing too much agreeing. I don't know. He had to give them, yeah, y'all got to do it together. Y'all got to eat. If somebody want to eat and not deliberate, then everybody got to pause. If somebody got to go piss, you know, do the bathroom thing, everybody may need to go and go at the same time, cause everybody got to stop. You can't pick up and keep going and tell them to catch up later. No, y'all got to do it together from the beginning to the end. So honestly, if I can be truthful, I thought we was gonna have a verdict today. So we gonna listen again. We gonna listen. Oh yeah, no, we ain't finna listen right now, boo. Get them likes all the way up. Get them up. Do not come in here to hear anything we gonna talk about if you can't hit that like button. You wanna hear Black Youngster again? Snake, snake. If you don't hit the like button, you a snake, snake. Hit the like button or you a snake, snake. I didn't say it. Black Youngster did. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I got some. Debbie Hudson. Hey, Debbie Hudson. That was cute, wasn't it? Snake. Snake. If you don't hit the like button, you a snake. Snake. Woo! Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby, look here, Like Patrol back, baby. She back. You know, homie don't play that. So, yeah. Oh, cutie. He came in. I'm thinking, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. He flattened his sideburns and stuff, you know. It's on silent, y'all. It ain't me. He's silent. I'm like, okay. He getting ready. He's smiling. I miss you too, Debbie Hudson. I'll be missing my tea sippers. So I'm thinking, okay. I like the background. He got his tie matching, his wall art and stuff. Hey, Kane, I miss Kane Light too. Hey, Kane Light. I be starving myself, doing content. Got me aging, starting to look. Nah, I don't look like my age. So I'm thinking, okay. And then, baby, ooh, this black cherry juice good. So, and why them WPs just started going back in my old Carmelo Anthony debating with them about his justice and all how I feel about Hunter. Why somebody just out of the blue start trying to check me again? Girl, I said, ooh, they must done. Them streets in Frisco must be hot, baby. Y'all look at him. I'm thinking we finna get a trial. You know, he got a verdict and everything. He over here Cadillac, and do he not know he on camera? Why you coming back and saying, now you didn't say it, the news people said it. Oh, I can't see everybody comment. Hold on. Them lights ain't up. I don't even have 20 likes yet, y'all. Let me finish eating my black cherries. The judge seemed like he cool for real. Nah, I ain't lying to you. They just want to come over here and get the tea. And run, take it over there. Like they're the smart one. And then when I asked them to leave, they send them thinking I'm mean or unprofessional. Baby, this ain't my job. I'm professional at work. When I used to be professional, they didn't appreciate it. It still ain't went up. Ooh, that was good. I don't know what I did earlier to make this sit up. Snake. All you haters are snake. I don't know why I can't get this to set up. They always in the handout line, getting what they can get for free. You know them kind. Let's see what old boy said.
This was my hair 6 hours after wash day. Now, this is my hair on day 3. I've tried every oily hair product and hack out there, and my scalp would still...
So y'all just not gonna hit the like button? I'm gonna have to drop the mic and just exit real cute. Is that what I'm gonna have to do? Come back another day.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Yo, what up? Hey, Deuce, I seen that text message you sent me, man. I am not doing that.
I ain't gonna let
How
you
y'all
see
doing
it.
out there, man? You sitting up here watching this deliberation. I figured I'd get on here and talk with y'all. 5:30, they'll have something. If not, we all going home. And man, I am not doing that. How y'all doing out there, man?
Excuse me.
You sitting up here watching this deliberation. I figured I'd get on here and talk with y'all. We waiting just like everybody else now. After lunch,
She said hit
they
the.
went into deliberation. Hopefully by 5:30 they'll have something. If not, we all going home, and most likely I'll be leaving early in the morning. So if they do come up with some type of verdict, I will be gone. But hopefully they'll come up with something today by 5:30. But you know what I'm saying? Hopefully something to happen, because I mean everybody right now, man, and pray for the family, man. We all out here just on pins and needles with stress, just waiting for
Oh
closure.
wow,
This
they
has been a
stressed
long,
out.
drawn out process. And would you say, William, I look presidential? I got my Obama on right now. And you know what's funny? I hate wearing suits. I look good in suits.
You can't be
I
nice to
stand wearing them.
people. Stop playing.
I cannot stand wearing suits. But yeah, I don't know if you guys were paying attention. This is one of the best days they did the closing arguments.
That girl was good,
That
baby.
last prosecutor, the young lady, the young black lady that got up there and talked, she said it as plain as simple as
We
you
gonna
can
listen to
say
it.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Baby, she ate them up.
Find them guilty on all counts and see what's going on. You know, and you'll see what's happening. Her thing was so cold at the end. The other lawyers, I don't know if you caught it, they went up there and tried to go back and do a rebuttal with her. They wanted to get back on that because what she said was so, so convincing because it dealt along the lines of common sense.
Can y'all
It
hear
ain't no
him?
debate.
Can y'all hear
But
him?
that 20 minutes of video showed. It's no debate. But I mean, the reality is,
Can y'all hear him, baby? When I tell you that girl, that third chair, she said, I like being third chair. You know, I get a chance to sit back and listen. Listen. I wanted her to say with my good ear. With my good ear. Uh-huh. And baby, when I tell you she ate. She ate. I don't know what you need lunch for, baby, because you full. She fed. Yes, ma'am, she fed today. But my lights ain't up. I want to turn around so y'all can see him in his nice suit and hear it like up close and personal. But y'all don't want to act right today. Girl, you better. Oh, that's just this day. Okay. Because at first I was saying, where HITMAN? She ate. She fed them like a sister. That was soul food. I don't know if there's some black people on that jury, but she fed them soul food from the gut. Let's go. I ain't gonna keep holding that. I ain't gonna. Yes, indeed, because he ain't never lied, baby. He ain't never lied. You're gone and leave. If you can't hit the like button, go. Go. This ain't where you need to be, baby, because we eats over here.
find them guilty on all counts and see what's going on. You know, and you'll see what's happening. Her thing was so cold at the end. That last prosecutor, the young lady, the young black lady that got up there and talked, she said it as plain as simple as you can say it. You know what I'm saying? Find them guilty on all counts and see what's going on. You know, and you'll see what's happening. Her thing was so cold at the end. The other lawyers, I don't know if you caught it, they went up there and tried to go back and do a rebuttal with her. They wanted to get back on it because what she said was so so convincing because it dealt along the lines of common sense. It ain't no debate. what that 20 minutes of video show. It's no debate. But I mean, the reality is, the jury has to see it like that.
Okay.
And, you know, like they say, beyond a reasonable doubt. Hopefully they'll see it the way it's supposed to be seen. He said, looking casket sharp. That got me scared.
Well, you better be scared out there in
Memphis.
Memphis.
Talk with y'all for a little bit. We got less than an hour. Hopefully, you know, we're over here, and I got a representative. The family's inside. Got a representative liaison for Ben Crump. Hopefully he'll get the call, and we all sitting around waiting for his phone to ring. So right now, everybody's chilling out. People are taking naps. Anxiety's at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
People are just ready for this thing to get done with, me included. So we'll see what happens.
I found myself
But,
getting a little anxious
hopefully
today.
they'll call us in the next 45 minutes. And we were sitting up here and we were talking. You know, I said earlier, you know, how long it would take for the deliberation. I said 4 hours. I was talking to a lot of the media members. We all said 4 hours. But you got to understand something. It's 7 counts. And
With 3 people.
7 counts, right?
With 3 different people.
Each count has 2 or 3 things that dictate somebody being guilty of said count. They got to go through 7 counts for 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they go down, without a reasonable doubt, for them to get a guilty or innocent plea. So that's going to take some time. You know? And we just, yeah, Tanisha. Her name's Tanisha.
I don't know about that. Hey, Miss Crystal, justice for Tyre. Full justice for Tyre.
There today. I got some funny information to tell you, but I'm going to wait till the verdict is over. But, man, there's some wild stuff that happened today, and I'm going to tell you something. Rodney Wells, Tyre Nichols' stepdad,
Mad.
is one of the most gangster dudes I've ever seen.
Oh, he mad at that man.
And
Black
I
guy.
give him hell of respect. I was standing right there.
He checked.
And I tell you guys,
He
about
checked
that,
Perry.
the verdict is read.
He checked Perry.
Man, it's a lot of crazy stuff out here.
He checked
I
Perry.
mean, just the hijinks behind the scenes, stuff y'all don't see on TV when Doris is passing, family members. It's a lot of stuff y'all ain't seeing. And like, you know, this is my first murder trial. I'm like, man, this is
Them
how it is.
youngins, I already said
Man,
it.
it's wild.
You're
Somebody
not
said,
from
"Breathe,
Memphis,
breathe."
don't come there.
Well, the only thing good is the rain is about to come, so it's not hot out here.
Not the time to
You know what
tour.
I'm saying?
You
Yeah.
ain't lying.
Smith lawyer was pissed, and what's her name? Lawyer Bean's lawyer was pissed. In fact, Bean lawyer and Bean passed me on the way leaving out for lunch, and he was so pissed that they wouldn't let him go up there and rebuttal that lady Tanisha. He walked by me, rolled his eyes, and just left Bean. I'm like, yo, they usually walk together. He stormed out there. I
Bean.
said, man, this is crazy. Because the judge told him you could hear, you could see what they were talking about, and the judge basically told him you had your chance. You know what I'm saying? You don't go back up there after you said what you said. And he was talking real greasy yesterday. And the thing that's crazy, like I tell you, it's a lot of stuff y'all don't see. This dude be talking real reckless when he know that the family, primarily Miss Rovan, is not in the courtroom. He be saying some slick mouth stuff and just vicious stuff, trying to destroy Tyre's character. But looking at the jury and the way it is, I don't think they buy it. I don't think they
He
buy it.
ain't have a
Especially
record.
after She came and brought the thunder today. Lord have mercy.
He said,
She
what? Let
couldn't
me
have said
hush.
any better. People left out there and everybody was talking about how she. That's crazy. Like I tell you, it's a lot of
She
stuff
ate
y'all
their
don't see.
asses up, baby.
This dude be talking real reckless when he know that the family, primarily Miss Rovan, is not in the courtroom. He be saying some slick mouth stuff and just vicious stuff, trying to destroy Tyre's character. But looking at the jury and the way it is, I don't think they buy it. I don't think they buy it, especially after Tanisha came and brought the thunder today. Lord have mercy. She couldn't have said it any better. People left out there and everybody was talking about how she put the nail in the coffin. They ran up there trying to get another chance. So, we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm not really doing nothing. So, if y'all want, we could just sit on here and talk for a little bit. Oh, another thing too. I met 2 subscribers in the courthouse today, right? When I was sitting downstairs. Man, I forgot these ladies' names. But, man, they said some pretty nice things, and they took a couple of pictures, man. I thank them for their support, man. Really good people. And you know, she's going through something with her son in court. I wish her the best. But I mean, ma'am, shout yourself out in the comments, man. I forgot your name, baby, but I do appreciate you. Love is love. It is what it is. You and your daughter. But yeah, if y'all want to sit up here and talk, we can talk for a little bit. Yeah, because I mean, we all waiting around. We don't know nothing. It's just, you know, I'm trying to give y'all an update as far as what we know. If it gets to 5:30, it ain't nothing but everybody gonna go home. So we'll see. But most likely I'm gonna leave out of here tonight. Tomorrow morning, probably like 3 in the morning. Take me 9 hours to get home. I get home by noon. Got a couple of jobs to do. I gotta get back to work. I didn't think it would last this long. And because you say being lawyer trying to get revenge back on the state from his loss on Lorenzo Wright. Yeah, well, this is a heavyweight fight. They've been losing from the beginning. They keep bringing up the cards, the credit cards, and the mushrooms and hallucinogens, and no man can take mace and all this type of stuff. They keep bringing that up, but it's falling on deaf ears. Like she said, you said Bean, like Tanisha said today, she said Bean and Justin Smith, you claim they was blind, but their eyes are open because she took and stopped it and showed other things that other people never see and stopped it at the end. And she said, his eyes is open. Look at Tyre's face. Look where he's looking. Look where they looking. Look at his eyes. His eyes is open. Like they are right now and pointed right at him.
Yep.
And another thing is the way the defendants was looking over there when she was talking. You know what I'm saying? Haley looked like he was about to cry. You know how people do their eyes like this? If you go back and look.
Sister ate him up.
Like he was trying to like dry his eyes out.
God damn.
She was coming for the jugular on that last part. I give her respect. They said, what's his name, has never lost a case.
Which one?
The DA, Paul Hagerman, never lost a case. And he sicked the ladies on him at the end.
The sister definitely outdid the
Sicked the ladies right on. And they represented, so I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. They said everything nobody else, you know, a lot of people wasn't like, especially young lady Tanisha, she said a lot of stuff a lot of people wasn't even thinking about, or they wasn't saying on TV before that. I did not know. Check this out. The first person to punch Tyre, and if you look at the regular video, you won't do it. They slowed it down. Was Justin Smith. Before Smith, Emmett Martin punched him and started giving him them haymakers. What's his name?
on the second, at the second one, at the second scene, not the first one.
The video. Go back and look. Right before Emmett Martin started hooking off on him, punching him. Look back. You'll see him holding his arm, and you'll see him punch Tyre Nichols across the face.
At the second
I think
location.
that spurned to set it off with Emmett Martin doing that to him. Either way, they brought stuff out in the case that nobody even was talking about. And I was like, yo, I never even seen it. I seen that video over 200-something times. I'm like, they slowed it down and broke it down. Then they
Y'all hit the like button.
Eyes, everything. They said they was blind. They broke that down. That was a lie. They just discredit these defense lawyers really bad. And that's why I'm like, I don't see this going past a day in deliberation. But thinking back on it, you know, you never can tell with the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel good that I came, and when I first seen this video, how it changed my life, and I felt as though, you know, I could use my platform for a voice for stuff like this and cover news and just, you know, and I told you guys we would follow this all the way to the end, man, and I feel really good. It's always feels good when you have a sense of accomplishment after putting the work in for something so long and see it to fruition. So whether I'm here or not for the verdict, I still report on. So it's not a total loss, but I am thankful to the, you know, Tyre Nichols family, you know what I'm saying, the Wells family, friends, family, advocates, everybody that's out here pulling and pushing for justice for this young man. He didn't deserve what he did.
He sure didn't.
And, you know, I just hope I represented him right on my platform because his voice needs to be heard just like many others. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we'll be able to
get justice.
Something else and help somebody keep somebody else's name alive. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back in there and chill out. I'm the only one out here. I don't want to be running the live stream. The rest of the family's in there talking. And I don't want to be rude, but I had to come and talk to you guys. I know you guys are sitting around waiting for deliberation. I know what you know. We're just waiting. So I'll see you guys later. I love you as always. If I don't get back on here by 5:30, you know what I mean, or drop a community post like breaking news on my way to the courthouse, a verdict has been reached, I don't know what's going on. So I'll drop a couple videos tonight, and when I get back to the hotel.
Shout out to him.
Appreciate you guys.
Dynamic Reason. Shout out to him. What y'all think? Any feedback on that? Yeah, we finna watch her, but any feedback? Any feedback, y'all? I'm gonna tell you, yesterday, I was at work. I was in a long meeting today that I didn't, anyway. Yesterday, and it came out that he was asking somebody to help him. To hear them say he was crying out for help. Oh my God. That is so horrible, because typically when you scream out for help, you want somebody to call the police. But it was his police brothers. Yeah, no, that's why, yeah, I just, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Honestly, no one wants to think about HIV, but there are things that
HIV?
everyone can do to help prevent it. It starts with getting tested.
Oh, Lord.
Calling it a night, but there is still no verdict. The jury in the trial of 3 former Memphis police officers charged in the beating of Tyre Nichols will continue deliberating tomorrow. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Only one thing left, the jury's verdict in the trial of former officers Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, and Demetrius Haley. WRG's April Thompson is live at the Criminal Justice Center tonight, where they just wrapped up. And April, plenty of deliberating today, but no decision.
No decision today after 4.5 hours of deliberation. They actually got this case a little after 12:30 this afternoon, but we just got word that at 5 o'clock, if they did not have a decision, they were going to call it a night, and that has happened. Court is over for today. The deliberations have ended, and so we'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the jury to start up again. But it has been a long 8 days of this trial that's come down to this, the verdict. The prosecution has the burden of proof here, and they were the last to speak before the case went to the jury. District Attorney Steve Mulroy told us earlier he is proud of the work his prosecutors have done in this case, and he says he is not the only one.
I've met with the family several times during this, and the trial team has even a lot more. And they've been very pleased with the work that our trial team has done.
2023 on Tyre Nichols. Yeah, everyone's still awaiting that jury's verdict. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. as those deliberations begin. And stay with News Channel 3 for the very latest on the court case as well as the verdict when it is reached. Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, April, thanks for the updates.
John, thank you. First of all, I think there's a...
I don't want to hear you. She ate.
And so any instructions that you all have come from the court. Before we begin with the...
Oh, yeah. Now, I said I didn't want to listen to him. Yeah, let's listen to old fat boy first because his instruction is because he tried to direct them. Yeah, I wasn't going to listen to old fat boy. But let me take that back. Let's hear old Huckleberry. Let's listen to old Huckleberry first.
Thank you. First of all, I think there's a rule in the law that says we're not supposed to thank jurors for their time and service, but I hope everybody realizes how much we all appreciate
Is that Huckleberry?
the fact that you've gone down here 5.5 hours driving time down here and then spent over a week here listening to this. And that's really all I can say under the rules about how much I appreciate it. So let me start with my closing argument. That is Justin Smith on the proudest day of his life. He was a brand new, freshly minted cop. And that's who I represent, Justin Smith, right over there. Now I'm not going, that's the only technology you're going to see from me today. All right. My closing argument's more going to be of what I noticed throughout the trial. And you may or may not consider what I noticed to be important. And if it's not important, just ignore it. But it could be that you noticed and made note of some of the same things. And since it seems like we've been here for an eternity, I'm going to go through them. Again, use what you want and move on the things you don't want. All right? So I'm going to try to move quickly. If I even get anywhere close to an hour and a half, I give you permission to throw a rock at me, okay? Kind of like the Rock City bank robbery. Just throw a rock at me. All right. First, my notes. What happens in a city when mayors and police chiefs announce on the news that cops are not going to be permitted to chase shoplifters or burglars? Well, criminals run. They're not dumb. What happens when officers like Justin Smith get convicted of a felony because of what Tyre Nichols and Emmett Martin did? Let's be real clear.
Tyre and
We're here
Emmett.
because of choices, as mentioned, Tyre Nichols made and that Emmett Martin made. That's why we're here. I don't care what anybody else says. In my opinion, that's why we're here.
Oh, he don't
So
care.
what happens when we convict officers like Justin Smith
They go to prison.
of felonies for chasing someone down and attempting to handcuff a suspect to assist one of his other police officers? If you're a cop, what do? Somebody like Justin Smith, who everybody knows, the UNPD knows to be the most kind and gentle professional in that unit. He gets convicted of a felony. What's going to happen?
He gonna get his ass ate up in prison. Bubba gonna tag his ass.
They're going to run. The cops are going to run.
You're the person with the gun. The person who would do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know that you could go to jail simply
He
for doing
better
the right
run
thing
and
to keep your family
swing
safe?
like he was
Don't
swinging
end up
on
behind bars
Tyre.
just because you did.
Swing at Bubba the same way.
They're going to run. The cops are going to run. Cops are going to run to Chattanooga, be a cop in Chattanooga. They're going to run down to South End of Mississippi. They're going to run. And maybe if they left the streets to the politicians and the preachers and the parents to police the streets, maybe the city of Memphis might learn. Your Hamilton County Sheriff has on his website, I don't know if you know this or not, Your Hamilton County Sheriff, who I met, says on his website, we chase cars. He has it on his official website. You think the criminals know that? You think the burglars know that? Shoplifters, carjackers? You think they know that? It's your sheriff that's going to chase cars. Just down the road, less than 10 miles from here, the Suffolk County Sheriff, Thomas Tuggle, on his website, it says, we chase criminals, we chase cars. Don't bring your crime. It says, don't bring your crimes from Memphis down here. It's just literally 3 miles south of the Memphis International Airport, Suffolk County, Mississippi. We chase cars, we chase criminals. You think they're down there shoplifting? You think they're down there breaking into 94 cars in one night? Here's some more notes that I have. That night of this arrest, who was angry? Who was angry? Well, we know Mills was angry. He said so from the stand. He said he was angry. We know Emmett Martin was angry. You couldn't be anything but angry and unhinged if you're Emmett Martin doing what he did. Was being angry? Nope. Remember now, when I answer a question, I'm not going to ask you a question. The DA's office asked you a couple questions one time. I said, God forbid they actually answer some of those questions. When I ask a question, it's rhetorical. Was being angry? Nope. You didn't hear a peep from him. He said, come on, bro, give me your hands. Was Justin Smith angry? Listen to the audio. Justin Smith is that squeaky voice you hear. He was panicked. He had enough years on the job arresting felons, 90% of whom are armed. He had enough sense to be scared and screaming on the radio to send more cars. Was he angry? Nope. But Mills and Martin were angry. Who took breaks from OC spray, pepper spray? We keep calling it OC spray like it's, something to keep on the back of your stove. Pepper spray. You saw how potent it was. And Miss Heaven said, in one breath, she says, oh, we heard how Mills and Martin were immediately affected by the OC spray. Remember saying that? But Smith and Bean didn't have that luxury. So Miss Headley tried to make it sound like it didn't get on them. Did y'all notice in training that when they give them that one shot in the eye, there's nobody standing behind that cop that gets it in the eye? It's called backsplash or overspray. Miss Headley told you that Martin was standing next to Mills. Go back and watch the video. No, he wasn't. He was standing next to Bean. He was standing across from Mills when he shot that spray. And Martin is not a little guy. He bailed out. Whew! Whew! Can't catch my breath. Mills took a 1 minute and a half break because some of the back spray got on him. At that first traffic scene, Haley's the one who sprays. Okay? Hemphill is across from him with his taser on the leg. And Hemphill gets it. It's like room spray. You're not going to be able to surgically do it, okay? And it is super powerful. For over 8 minutes, go back there and time it. Haley couldn't catch his breath. He couldn't see. He was prying his eyes open to get water in it. Hemphill, while Mr. Leffel was reading out the times of what was going on over at Castlegate, Hemphill was still coughing up a lung. Hacking and coughing on the... He only got a little shot. Bean and Smith didn't have that luxury. They let go of that man on the ground with a handcuff on him. Somebody's going to get shot. It might be Nichols, because if he gets up with that handcuff and starts swinging it. Or a cop's going to get hurt. Miss Headley actually had the temerity to look you people in the eye and say that Bean and Smith were holding the victim Nichols down on the ground. Remember saying that? Don't answer. Mills stated from the witness stand that Bean and Smith weren't holding him down to be holding him down, to get punched, kicked, or whatever. Mills said that those two guys kept their hands on Nichols to keep him on the ground, to get him handcuffed. What else could they do? Did Smith and Bean get a break? Haley and Hemphill got over an 8-minute break. Mills took a 1.5-minute break. Those two guys never got a break. Mills testified that days after this happened, Justin called him on the phone. He testified to it. Mills did. Mills did. That's the state's witness. That's the state's witness that they called to prosecute these men. Mills said that Justin called him up and said, man, I just heard that there were kicks. And I'm going to call the lieutenant about it. He was mad. He used dirty words. I think he said it was effed up. Justin didn't know about the kicks. And they would have you believe, how could they not? Bean's body cam was right there on the ground. It caught every one of the kicks. Again, their witness Mills testified that he didn't see any of the kicks. And by the way, Mills is the one in the video with nothing in his hands, no hands on a suspect, staring at Martin and staring at Nichols, and yet he said, I didn't see the kicks. Justin and Bean, and I don't mean to drag Mr. Perry's client into it over and over again, but let's face it, Justin and Bean are bent over at 90 degrees, face full of spray, and blind, and deaf, and suffocating, trying to get this unknown suspect, who they got called out on, had already fought off 3 cops. They have no idea if he has a weapon. Mills didn't see it. And Miss Haley said there were 7 times that they could have stopped these kids by at least saying stop. Justin Smith had his hands full.
Yep.
And Justin Smith has a history. You heard it from the witnesses, the character witnesses, that he is incapable. It is not in his nature to allow another officer to abuse a suspect.
Well, he did a mighty good job.
The judge has instructed you on the law that when it comes to character witnesses, if someone is of good character, it strengthens the presumption of innocence, which is the strongest presumption in American law. Because good people, and what Mr. Hagman said in Chattanooga, and it's been repeated ad nauseum here, good people do bad things. But we're not here about good people doing bad things. We're looking at here people being charged with felonies. Good people do good things. And Justice Smith didn't do anything different that night. He was doing the best he could to help Darius Bean get handcuffs on and get Nichols in custody. Miss Headley, I have to take my hat off to her. Miss Headley had me, even though the judge says she shall not have any sympathy, talking about sesame chicken. Sesame chicken. Rogan Wells making sesame chicken that night, and Tyre rubbed his belly saying,
You did say today is a yes day, right? Yes. Rematch at the bowling lanes? Thought you never asked.
Justice Smith did not do anything to Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols made choices. You heard about them. Speeding, running from the police, blue lights, fighting at this first scene. Did you hear what he said? He looked at these cops and saying, get your ass out of the car. He says, y'all are really doing a lot tonight. Stop. Don't do that. I'm just going home. When they're saying, get your ass on your belly. Right? Tyre Nichols made these choices. This isn't about sesame chicken. It's about Tyre Nichols somehow getting 750 pounds of men off of him and running to the next street over and hiding behind a Toyota 4Runner. Wiping his face, wiping the spray off. And then he happens to be seen by Mills and Bean. These These guys have guts that I don't have. Okay? I flew Army helicopters for a long, long time. I've never had a shot made at me in anger. Okay? These guys, over 2 and 3 year periods, are making over 1,000 felony arrests themselves. 80 to 90% of them have hid weapons on them. Frankly, when Emmett Martin announced he's got to hold my gun, he's got my gun, in other circumstances, I'm surprised somebody didn't get shot and killed right then. That's a deadly force situation, you heard from the experts. Instead, they're trying to talk him into getting his arm behind his back. Dude, get your arm behind your back before I break your shit. Foul language. This is not some guy worried about going home and eating sesame chickens. The investigation. Let's talk about this investigation. Whew. Chuck Baker comes, impressive fellow from TBI, and I asked him, whose decision was it to return Kelly Rogers' pink American Express card? Not return. Did I say return? They didn't return it. It wasn't Tyre Nichols' American Express card to begin with. Whose idea was it for you to give the American Express card and all these other cards to Tyre Nichols' mother? And he goes, well, he took his instructions from the DA's office. That man right back there. He took his instructions from the DA's office, Mr. Mulhall. Let me offer you a suggestion. If you don't like it, if you don't believe it, throw it out. If they call Kelly Rogers up and say, we have your American Express card, would you like to come down and get it?
What's that do, Tyre?
Don't most owners of the credit card say, where'd you find it? Well, we found it in Tyre Nichols' car. There was a better than even chance that Kelly Rogers was going to tell the media, my credit card was found in Tyre Nichols' car, the one that's making worldwide news. There goes the narrative right down the commode, right? He's just a victim waiting on sesame chicken. Instead, they gave Kelly Rogers' American Express card to Rovon Wells. Is she going to go to the media and say, oh, by the way, they found this American Express card in my son's car? No, she's not. That story ends. Don't tell me this wasn't directed. Don't tell me this investigation was not focusing on those cops. They take DNA swabs from their mouth, they take their shoes and their boots, cut them up for DNA, and they don't go down to St. Francis Hospital with a search warrant for Tyre Nichols' blood. See if he's on anything. He's got 5 narcotics officers saying he's high as a kite. And they don't go down and get a search warrant. Don't tell me this investigation was not tainted. Somebody told me that y'all are going to be jealous if I referred to my iPhone, because y'all haven't had an iPhone for a week or two, so bear with me. Now, this is not one to throw a rock at me, okay? I'm going to read to you a headline. Headline is a public record. A newspaper is considered a public record under the law. Okay, I'm just going to read you the headline. Memphis has broken homicide record. New numbers show. November 20th of 2023. 11 months after this. Right? Keep up. That's November 20th of 2023. CNN headline. CNN. Memphis mayor meets with gang leaders to request ceasefire in effort to curb city's gun violence. March 3rd of 2024. Mayors are meeting with gang leaders to stop gun violence.
Yeah, maybe you're correct.
Yeah, this don't have nothing to do with the mayor. And again, it wasn't this mayor. What's your point? But that's okay. She gonna eat in a minute. Fred, kind of sharp to be an old. See, look. He got his hair cut. You gotta trim down. That boy can't. This one. He can't afford that attorney. Somebody paying that bill for him. I know they wish they could erase that day, baby. Oh, all that high fiving and hooping and hollering. They thought they got away with it, baby, but that sky can. Ooh, baby, start bleeping. They realized that blue light that they were seeing wasn't the blue light from that car. Says smile. Yeah, we saw y'all high-fiving, hoopling, hollering. Yeah, you might as well pick your dash cam, your body cam up, baby, because you on camera anyway. Jeez. Ooh. Redo it.
Take that time. That's my schedule. All right, now, you people live in Chattanooga, these headlines that I read talk about our crime rates. That's probably not a single surprise to any people in Hamilton County about the crime rates in Memphis, especially in light of the evidence that 80 to 90% of the people that they try to arrest all have hidden weapons. These crimes, where we're breaking records for violent crime, all predate Scorpion, and since these guys are where they are, crime has continued to go nuts. It's a matter of public record. It's a matter of your own knowledge in your own head when you come to Shelby County, okay? So what do? What do the leaders do? They form a Scorpion team. They take statistics, which I thought this case was about. They take statistics and they move them to dangerous areas of Memphis. And they leave them there for a week with the sole purpose of removing criminals with, felony arrest warrants, stolen cars, drugs. To get them off the street. They do it for a week or two, and then they got to move on to the next precinct. Because they get the crime down in that precinct for a little while, and there's another precinct going nuts. So they have to go over there for a week or two.
Could we use your house to trial our 24-hour bathroom upgrade system? We're looking for homeowners with invalid...
Remember in my opening argument, I said these cops serve in the most dangerous unit in the most dangerous city in the United States. That goes to their mindset when they attempt to pull a car over that keeps going.
They chose their job.
That's in their mindset when they tell Nichols, get out of the effing car. They don't use language.
He wasn't the first, he won't be the last.
And Nichols pulls back against him, and they pull him out of the car. That's what's on their mind. Let go of my gun. That's what's on their mind.
He lied.
Justin Smith watching Tadarius Bean go down a dark street. Don't believe me, believe Mills. He didn't even know what street they were on. A dark street. They're chasing an unknown fleeing suspect. Bean's by himself, hackles him. Justin, with a blown out knee, gets out of his car to go over and help Bean, handcuffed. At that point, why did Tyre Nichols just say, all right, whoa, you got me. I'm done. Remember, Keith Berry said, the real gangbangers, the real thugs know to put their hands behind their back, right? Right? It's going to go quickly, be over. These were not a bunch of bullies, monsters. Mr. Ackerman said they're not monsters. Well, of course they're not monsters. They're doing a job that none of us in here have the guts to do, to try to keep the rest of us safe. All Tyre Nichols had to do was, all right, man, you got me. He might have spent a little time in jail for some of the stuff they might have found, but he wouldn't be dead. Those headlines I told you about, the things you know about in your own mind about Memphis, do you think Justin Smith knew those things when he decided to go to work on January 7th with a blown out knee instead of staying at home and nursing his knee? This guy with a college degree, with one of the most outstanding reputations at MPD and OCU, he knew what the risks were when he went into work. And he faced it. I don't have those guts. About the only thing Justin is guilty of is being naive. He probably thought he was making a difference. He literally was risking his life in reality every night to arrest people, sell dope, carjack cars, steal guns, credit cards, treating these people with respect. That's what they said about Justin. He's dealing with the worst people in Memphis. And YOGOTTI, who was his lieutenant, and actually made arrests with him, with pepper spray in their face. Neemack, who is the old school guy, he says that Justin's new school. That is, he treated the suspects with respect. So is he going to change his spots that night and treat Tyre any different? No. This is Emmett Martin and Tyre Nichols' doings. John Keith Perry said he was going to beg you at one point in his closing argument. I thought to myself, don't feel like a Lone Ranger. I'm going to beg as well. I'm going to beg 12 people that end up on this jury to stop the misery Justin Smith has been going through, being charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. End it. Go to the jury verdict form. I'm going to read you the pages, make it hopefully better for you, and check the box, not guilty. And let Justin try to get some semblance of order. He'll never be a cop again. There's nothing we can do about that. If you're involved with the Tyre Nichols arrest, you're not ever going to be a cop again. Convicting Justin Smith of anything. By the way, a lot of times these people with these governments, they charge people with all these charges, right? And some of them sound pretty harmless, like official misconduct. That sounds like the clerk at the license plate place taking $5 out of the till. It's a felony. Official misconduct is a felony. Official oppression is a felony. Do not convict Justin Smith of any of these charges. Next thing I'd like to tell you. When I represent a client who, let's face it, probably did do something they shouldn't do, I love lesser included offenses. Because I figure, well, the jury might cut me some slack, and instead of convicting them way up here, they'll convict them way down here. Okay? The state is the one wanting you to go to 35, I think it's 35 different charges, lesser included offenses. They're hoping that you'll get back there and you'll negotiate and compromise and say, well, you know, I'm not guilty of murder, but let's tag him with this. That's their idea. I'd just soon try Justin Smith on murder. But I'm forced to defend him on all those lesser charges, which is just a game, in my opinion. It's just a game.
Your Honor, this whole, if Your Honor could give some type of instruction to the jury that the lesser included are the law in the state of Tennessee, and that's why Your Honor has included those in the jury instructions. That's not something that the state did.
I'm going to allow him to finish the closing arguments and I'll give him.
He thought he was the judge, y'all. He got his good suit on.
Lesser included offenses many times.
They're about to shit themselves up.
It's called a negotiated compromise verdict. I'm asking you not to do that.
You want
I
pity.
don't know how much clearer I can make it. I'm
You want
asking you.
pity. So did Tyre. He was asking for somebody to help him. He should have helped, but he didn't.
Now, let me go to the DA's closing argument.
Yeah.
and I'm only going to do some of the high points. I'm not going to do all of Ms. Headley's closing argument. Okay, just some high points that I noted.
Yeah, you give what you give.
She said that Tyre Nichols, after looking forward to Sesame Chicken, said when he got out of his car, I'm just trying to go home. If he'd have done what the officers told him to do, he could have gone home that night, or at least some night quickly in the future. But he didn't. Instead, Ms. Headley makes it about the officers. Should have the officer just said, oh, well, you're about to go home? Well, go ahead and go home. Is that what we want? She took issue with my phrase, tail whip. It was when I was asking Mills about you getting your tail whipped. These guys face felons every night, and they can't keep this kind of control. And by the way, this is the second scene. The first scene, he's already whipped their tail and got away from them. So that was my phraseology that Ms. Headley took issue with. These officers clearly were in over their heads with this one suspect, Tyre Nichols. Mills said he was angry when he used his baton. He was being honest and candid. And he went on to say, yeah, well, I was angry. If Tyre had just given us his hands, I would have not appealed. Even though he was angry, Mills said that if he had just given us his hands, I would have never struck him. You can't believe Mills 1 minute and disbelieve him the next minute. That's their witness. I'm not going to spend too much more time on the DA's office continually saying that Bean and Smith were holding Tyre Nichols down, and they even played it to you in slow motion. That's not what Mills said. Mills said they weren't holding him down for beatings. They were holding him down trying to get him handcuffs. That's their witness. Ms. Headley stated, and I should have objected, Ms. Headley stated they had to have felt or heard the kicks. Remember her saying that to you? She's telling you that they had to have felt and heard the kicks. I didn't object, instead I wrote this note down. Their witness, Mills, says he didn't see the kicks. Their witness, Mills, says he heard the thud, and when he saw the second punch, he turned away and walked away because he didn't want to see it.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
I have to poop.
That's why she's gonna eat your ass.
Smith and Bean didn't have that luxury. First of all, they didn't see it, and second of all, they could not let go of this suspect. This is crazy to evaluate this case on slow motion video in a 70-degree
They let go several times. It was
versus
one
out
point
there on
where
the dog street.
they was just standing over it. What you doing
This is
about?
crazy to evaluate them criminally this way. I'm just going to take my time. I don't mean to keep you hungry, but Ms. Headley said Mills and Martin reacted to the OC immediately. Well, what are we going to do? Punish Bean and Smith for just sucking it up and fighting through it? So Ms. Headley saying they couldn't have felt or tasted or smelled the OC spray because Mills and Martin reacted to it immediately. Ms. Headley said this to you in closing argument, and I did not stand up and object. It said, cops had no idea about the cards and the dope in the car, and the mushrooms only weighed as much as $2 bills. Cops couldn't have known about it. But you know who did know about it? Tyre Nichols knew about it. It's okay for Ms. Headley to tell you what the cops didn't know. It's okay for me to tell you what Mr. Tyre Nichols knew. He knew what was in that car. He wasn't scared of those cops. I think he probably got scared of them. He wanted to get away from that car. If he gets away from that car, there's a hope to stay out of jail. Ms. Headley said that Tyre Nichols ran because he was scared of the police. She said, I don't know how she knows that. She went on to say that we picked on Robert Long too much. That's a young EMT, stood there like I'm standing, while Justin Smith is saying, man, his oxygen's low. His O2 is low. Where's your bag? You heard Justin. There was only one person trying to care for Tyre Nichols out there. It was Justin. That's not to the detriment of the other officers. I'm just saying. She said we picked on Robert Long. And she said, if they hadn't done what they did to Tyre Nichols, Robert Long wouldn't even be out there. Remember she said that to you? And I wrote, if Nichols had not done what he was doing, Robert Long wouldn't be out there either. If he would just get out of the car, say, why are y'all messing with me? Here. He could have gone out and hired himself a really good lawyer for mistreatment or whatever. Instead, he wants to say, y'all are really doing a lot tonight. Stop. Don't do that. I'm going home. The whole time he's got three really big men with big items to hurt you, saying, lay on your belly. And he didn't do it. Now, we're getting my closing argument, and it's only 3 pages long. Hopefully I've covered a good bit of it. Justin Smith's reputation was that of compassion, protection of others. I've talked to you about character evidence, strengthening the presumption of innocence. I won't cover it anymore. By the way, Mills actually ended up being one of Justin's character witnesses. Mills said that Justin was calm and shared the same values with him. Or is not going to take advantage or harm a suspect. You can't believe that and then not believe something else. Mills went on to say he didn't see the kicks, didn't see a good many of the punches.
I believe what I think is true. You a lie.
No words during the during the council gate thing. He said the first time he heard the words,
me making rules and breaking them.
Video. Remember that? That confirms what Zwicky said. That when you're in a critical incident, you're scared. In a critical incident, your field of view goes to 2 degrees.
Well, are they scared right now?
With no glasses.
Are them ex-cops scared?
OC spray. You're scared to death hanging on to a handcuff. You don't hear. That's called auditory exclusion.
I wonder they scared. They like hanging on line.
Looking at a video saying, well, that doesn't look too bad. It's impossible for us to get in the shoes of those officers that night. I was a horrible baseball player. Dealing with patients has to be hard. Dealing with wait staff people has to be hard. Dealing with second graders must be hard. How hard for these cops? And we're going to convict them of felonies? I told you a minute ago, I was going to tell you the pages. In that big, long jury instruction, each of the 3 defendants, they go through the 7 charges and the lesser included offenses. I would tell you that Justin's charges, where you mark guilty or not guilty, is at page 72, page 75, page 78, page 81, page 84, page 87, and page 90. Page 72 is second-degree murder and the lesser included offenses. Please mark not guilty. Page 75 is aggravated assault. Again, please mark not guilty in the lower left-hand corner. Page 78 is aggravated kidnapping. Same. Page 81, kidnapping with a deadly weapon. Same. 84 is official misconduct. Page 87 is official misconduct refraining from a duty. That has to be about providing medical care. That's, I mean, when you read the charge and you've heard all the evidence, that's the only thing it could possibly relate to. Mr. Leffler McCall said yes, he struggles with that as well. And page 90 is official oppression. want you to pay close attention to the following words, if you will, please. Knowingly, and the definition for knowingly, which remember includes reasonably certain. Knowingly, reasonable certainty, intentionally, unlawfully. These words have meanings within those jury instructions. They're very important. They're very, for lack of a better word, they're very intentional. They're very purposeful.
On purpose.
I don't think you're going to
Just
find
like they
Justice
beat
Smith
him on purpose.
had a purposeful bone in his body to hurt Tyre Nichols or to allow anyone else to hurt Tyre Nichols.
Y'all gonna stop acting like he God.
There's no way sitting in this courtroom looking at grainy video and pieces of moving body-worn cameras that Justin's guilty of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt to a moral certainty. Justin's character and his nature from these different witnesses, I ask you just to answer this in your own head. Would Justin hurt a suspect? Would Justin lose his temper? Would Justin allow someone else to hurt a suspect? Will he encourage or assist someone else to hurt a suspect?
If they so innocent, why they didn't get on that stand on their own behalf?
Listen to the audio tape. You'll hear Justin Smith on the radio at least 4 times, squealing, squeaking, begging for more cars, more help. Send more cars. He's still fighting. Send more cars. Justin Smith does this every night of the week. Justin Smith was probably for the first time in 3 years in OCU scared about what was about to happen. But do you call other cops and other witnesses to come over and witness you breaking the law? If Justin was going to break the law and hurt Tyre Nichols or allow someone else to hurt Tyre Nichols, would he call for more witnesses to come over? Well, of course not. That's common sense. Common sense, to me, is reasonable doubt. We've gone through all Nichols' choices. I won't go through them again. I'm going to go through my witnesses real quick. Curtis Tate. Curtis Tate was the first witness I called. He's the one who said that if somebody's mother or sister was on the side of the road with a flat tire, Justin would be one of the guys to stop and help fix the flat tire for a stranger. That was Curtis Tate. Jared Zwicky, he was my expert. I don't think anyone took issue with his expertise, candor, and fairness. Okay? Jared said everything Justin did was lawful that night. And then he went on to talk about how dangerous the situation was. And then he went and talked about physiological struggles that cops have in critical incidents. Brian Nemack was the old school guy that Mr. Hagerman cross-examined and said, y'all all sit around and tell war stories, and some of it's pretty violent. It's old school, right? Nemack was on and said, yeah, I've been doing it a long time, yeah. Mr. Hagerman, you and I have had those kind of conversations. And I asked him, I said, but is Justin Smith one of those guys? No, he's not. That's what he said. But he went on to say he was one of the best I had. And he said, Nemack said about Justin, he treats the suspects, the arrestees, with respect. Nemack said that. The old school guy, he probably took part in some of this kind of stuff back in the day. That's what he said about Justin Smith. Nemack is only recently retired.
Keep being lazy about cleaning your
But he
apartment.
didn't get caught on
No,
the
seriously.
Skycam.
Home Aglow will clean it for just $9.
He's come here so that Tate, working with the MPD, talking about Justin Smith. That's pressure. That's guts. Mark Lochecki, that's the cop, OCU cop, physically fit looking dude, turned preacher. You heard what he had to say about him. He would not back off with Hagerman, Mr. Hagerman saying, good people do bad things. Good people are capable of bad things. The preacher in him says, yeah, we're all capable of bad things. But then he said, but it's not in Justin's nature. And that guy has been in arrest scenes, fights with Justin Smith beside him. And that's what Checky said about him. Garrett O'Brien came in. He's kind of a stud too. He comes in. He had to hit a house on a search warrant. Some stolen cars, drug stuff. You know, they all do in the dark of night. And he said that even though it wasn't his case, he could call Justin and Justin would pay attention to what O'Brien's case was about and took it seriously and went and hit the house with O'Brien. And then when O'Brien was about to take $5,000, that O'Brien thought was supposed to be grabbed by the warrant, Justin reads the warrant and says, that money back. It's not included in your warrant. It wasn't even his case. Hill called him kind and gentle. Then I said, did Justin try to keep you away from the wrong kind of people? Hill said, yes, sir. Desmond Mills, their client. He made fun of him about how blind he was. But if Justin took his glasses off, he's blind as a bat. And this is not a dark street with OC spray and a fight for a handcuff. Mills, their witness, said that Justin's blind as a bat without his glasses. You heard all the audio and video. There was a fight. They didn't know who they were fighting. They had no idea about the Sesame chicken. They had no idea what was in his car. Granted, just trying to get this guy in handcuffs. I didn't do that. I don't think. Did I do that? Oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that too. Go check the box, not guilty. On those 7 pages I gave you, please. Return Justin Smith to his wife and kid. Let him somehow try to start his life over. Convicting him of a felony is not going to bring Tyre Nichols back. That is unfortunate. Any creation of God that leaves before its time is a tragedy. Tyre Nichols is gone. Convicting him of a felony will not bring Tyre Nichols back. Emmett Martin is in prison.
Everybody they convict.
I don't know any of us going to live long enough.
What the felony? That murder ain't gonna bring him back.
Martin's in prison.
We still
What he did.
convict us. It's like
Mills,
yo got
he's
it.
on
You
the
gotta
radio.
go down too.
Do not convict Justin Smith of these felonies. Please. Thank you for hearing me.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
He calls Dr. Ross.
Hold on. Let's go.
Turn thinking about your bathroom into loving it.
I don't
With
even
Tyre
want to
Nichols.
stop.
This was my hair 6 hours after wash day. Now, this is my hair on day 3. I've tried every oily hair product and hack out there, and my scalp would...
Portion, as we talked about at the very beginning, because the state has the burden in this case, now that the defense has finished their closing arguments, the state will have an opportunity to present a rebuttal argument. Is there anyone that needs a break so we don't have any interruptions during that rebuttal argument? All right, proceed.
Hold your bladder.
Two soccer ball kicks to the head.
Y'all, she 8.
Baton strike.
Do y'all need a break for a minute?
5.
Do y'all need a break? Get them lights up. Cause baby girl right here, she 8. She ate their butts up, baby. Y'all get my lights up. I need 20 likes. If I don't get them in the next 5 minutes, I'm shutting down.
Haymaker. And 2 more kicks. That's not about making an arrest. That's not about getting someone in handcuffs.
That's not. That was about Tyre Nichols making these officers run. These officers pepper spraying themselves. Because at Ross and Castlegate, Tyre Nichols was not resisting. He was trying to survive. You all are able to see that in the video. We're talking about the choices of Tyre Nichols. We're talking about the choices of Emmett Martin. Well, all three of those men over there made choices and could have made choices that night. Should have made choices that night. They could have chose to stop it. They could have made a choice to stop it. In fact, they had a duty to intervene. They had a duty to stop it. And not one of them did. So the defense attorneys, during the course of this trial, for the last 2 days, have said a lot. They said a whole lot. They've thrown a lot of smoke and mirrors, but smoke and mirrors do not equal reasonable doubt. And I told my boss, one of my big boss, that I wasn't going to talk about their smoke and mirrors. I was going to focus on something different. But some of the smoke does need to be cleared up, and some of the mirrors do need to be broken. And like Mr. Zumot, I'm not going to talk about all the smoke and mirrors because it was a lot. But I am going to hit the highlights, okay? So first, before we can get into anything, we got to talk about this idea of a tainted investigation. We've heard that for days now. They said TBI and the district attorney's office and the FBI, the Department of Justice, everybody was colluding and working against these men. They would have you believe, because TBI got involved, and my big boss somehow was driving Hickory Hill, January 7, 2023, saw these officers doing what they were doing and saying, hey, this is going to be a great news story. That's not what happens. In fact, look at the policy, Memphis Police Department's policy. You will have it with you. In cases where individuals are in custody and are critical or dead at the hands of law enforcement, TBI has to get involved. But that can only come at the request of the district attorney. So who knows about what happened to Tyre Nichols back on January 7, 2023? TBI doesn't. My boss not out riding. Miss Wells has collapsed on her son in the hospital. She's not calling my boss to make the call. Who knows? Who else is a part of this conspiracy? MPD.
Let me tell you.
Is it reasonable to also believe that MPD made the call to my boss? Hey, we got somebody critical at the hospital doing an arrest. TBI comes and clears out their hospital scene. Because that's what Ms. Wells said happened. For those officers who rode in the ambulance with Tyre Nichols, who were still at the hospital at the time he was there, cleared out. And then a tainted investigation. But when TBI gets involved, give them what they want to believe is their best piece of evidence. These mushrooms and these credit cards. That somehow justify Tyre Nichols being beat to death. Mushrooms that were found in the trunk of his car. Mushrooms that you heard Dr. Ross say weren't even in his system. What did he have in his system? Alcohol. Well below the legal limit. I think it was 0.4 grams. I don't know. 0.04. But a tainted investigation. smoke and mirrors. Let's talk about what this is not. Because we told you back in Chattanooga, this is not about a group of men who met on Flicker Street and said we're going to go out and kill somebody tonight. This is not even about those men meeting up at Ross and Reigns or Ross and Castlegate saying, hey, we're going to agree to do something to Tyre Nichols. If that were the case, it would be a what? First-degree murder case. Nobody is saying it. It would also be a conspiracy case. Nobody is saying it. But what it is a second-degree murder case, and it's a criminal responsibility case. And we're going to talk about what that means. And then, the gun. Tyre Nichols grabbed Martin's gun, put his hand on his gun. You heard from Mills. Later said it might have been my gun belt. All of it requires us to take the word of Emmett Martin. But we know, because we see on the video, 1 minute it's a traffic stop, 1 minute Tyre Nichols got out and took a swing, got him 1 minute. That's whose word we're supposed to take. You rewind the video of the traffic stop back, and you tell me if you hear about a gun, but beyond that, if there was a gun, and if they believe that he grabbed the gun, which would justify and increase this situation, as the expert said, if that was the case, who was at Ross and Reigns when that happened? We got Hempfield, we got Martin, and we got Haley. But guess what? Nobody got on that radio and put out, hey, yeah, pepper spray deployed. Yeah, Taser deployed. Yeah, he's running this way or that way. Nobody got on that radio and said, hey, he went for an officer's gun too. I mean, wouldn't that be information that you want your fellow officers to know if they're pursuing somebody who you believe is so dangerous, who you believe just overpowered, what was it, 700 some pounds of men? Wouldn't that be information you would want somebody to know if it was true? Smoke and mirrors. This notion, and I want to be clear what this is not. This is not an indictment against all police officers. This is not an indictment against police officers who get out, who do their jobs, who put their lives on the line. Nobody is saying it's not a dangerous job. Nobody is saying that it doesn't take bravery. No one is saying it. But because it's a dangerous job, does not mean that you are immune from making criminal decisions. So yes, we can talk about the language police officers use, the actions police officers use. Me and Mr. Hagman can agree to disagree about the verbal judo. And they snatching him out the car. I'm gonna blow your ass off. When they have him on the ground, I'm about to break your shit. We can agree to disagree. Okay, tough job, rough language, cool. Nobody's being charged for this. They have him on the ground. He's hurt now. Guns drawn. You about to get your ass blowed off. He's hurt. We about to break your shit. He's hurt. Pepper spray him. He's hurt. He, being Tyre Nichols, has hurt. Take him. Well, what's next?
Kill him.
What's next? Wait on him to pull the gun back out. He takes off running. Tyre Nichols should have just stayed there. He shouldn't have resisted. He shouldn't have ran. Okay, but he did. He ran. And at Ross and Castlegate, he's tackled to the ground by Tadarius Bean. Nobody is saying Tadarius Bean should not have tackled Tyre Nichols. He's not being charged for this. None of these officers are being charged for this. But as Tyre Nichols is on that ground, and Emmett Martin delivers that first kick to Tyre Nichols' head, it's a flag on the plate. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. That kick to the head, look at police policy, Memphis police policy. It's considered deadly force. So when you apply this deadly force to this man who's on the ground, he now becomes a victim. He now becomes a victim.
She right.
But nobody intervenes. There's more kicks. There's more kicks. There's more punches. There's more punches. There's more kicks. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. I believe it was Mr. Perry who talked about split-second decisions. A split-second decision will be somebody running through a red light, making the decision, should I beat it, should I not, should I beat it, should I not, trying to beat it and having a car accident. That wasn't this case. Tyre Nichols was beaten for 2 minutes. From first kick to last kick. For 2 minutes. And in between that time, each one of these officers sitting in this courtroom could have done something. Each one of these officers could have said something. This was not a split second decision. Smoke and mirrors. And maybe the best smoke and mirror of it all is this whole notion that these officers were just trying to handcuff Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols could have just put his hand behind his back, say, you got me, you got me. But when they first approached Tyre Nichols, what did he say? All right, all right, all right. Threw his hands up. So how do we even get on the ground? But even when we're on the ground, you know that character witness who came and said and testified on behalf of Mr. Smith, who talked about the dangerous arrest he made with Mr. Smith, who talked about the person who had been pepper sprayed. He was on one side, another officer was on another side, and guess what Smith did? He grabbed his feet, and they were able to get him handcuffed. Guess what they could have did when Tyre Nichols was on that ground? They could have grabbed his feet and been able to get him handcuffed. But nobody said grab his feet. Out here, you get one arm, I get one arm, somebody standing on his feet. And to the very end, until the actual patrolman came in and grabbed his feet. That's how he got handcuffed. It wasn't because Haiti and Martin kicked him again. It was because somebody out there had the sense to say that. And Justice Smith knew how to, because he had done it before. This wasn't about trying to get him handcuffed. And we know that because we know witnesses have testified, defense counsels have gotten up here and said it repeatedly. When the handcuffs go on, the fighting stops. When the handcuffs go on, can't do anything, can't hit them. But isn't it reasonable to believe that these officers weren't trying to get those handcuffs on?
Facts.
Because they wanted to punish him for running, because they wanted to punish him because they pepper sprayed themselves.
Right.
Tyre Nichols didn't grab a pepper spray can. They're upset, they're angry. They don't want those handcuffs on. It's an illusion for the body cameras that are still on, the ones that people haven't took and snatched off, the ones that haven't fallen off during the scuffles. They're asking for his hands, but they have his hands. They're asking for his hands as 2 officers have his hands and he's being punched. This is not about trying to handcuff Tyre Nichols.
You're right.
But that's what they want you to believe is my guy was holding him, Tadarius B. and Justice Smith just holding him, trying to give him handcuffs. They didn't have any intent to hold him so he can get punched in the head. Well, guess what that still sounds like, defense attorneys? That's still minimal facilitation of second-degree murder. That's not what this is. It's not just facilitation of second-degree murder. Not just them holding his hands for him to get handcuffed. This is second-degree murder. And so how do we get to that? Because all week, up until now, all week what it's come down to is that those men could see what Emmett Martin was doing, could hear what Emmett Martin was doing, if they were criminally responsible for Emmett Martin's actions. And all week, everybody has been trying to stay away from what Emmett Martin did, right? I think Mr. Lester got up today, and he read from you page 47 of your jury instructions that said, considering multiple defendants, you should give separate consideration to each defendant. Absolutely. Absolutely you should. But that goes along with criminal responsibility. You reconcile that with criminal responsibility, because on page 58, where we're talking about criminal responsibility, it says the defendant is criminally responsible as a party to second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated misconduct, and official oppression, if the offenses were committed by the defendant's own conduct, by Tadarius Bean's conduct, by Demetrius Haley's conduct, by Justice Smith's conduct, or by the conduct of another for which the defendant is criminally responsible, or both. So we don't get to just throw away Emmett Martin. We don't get to just throw away Emmett Martin. Yes, we evaluate them separately. That means evaluate if Tadarius Bean was criminally responsible for Emmett Martin and everybody else out there. That means evaluate if Demetrius Haley was criminally responsible for everybody else out there, so along with Justice Smith. And if they were criminally responsible for each other, then they can be found guilty of second-degree murder. So the question is, and the question has been all along, did they see what happened and not intervene? One way we need criminal responsibility, not intervening. Did they assist in what was happening? Another way we need criminal responsibility. And I submit to you that they were doing both. So, the good thing about going third, the good thing about the more experienced prosecutors handling the majority of the case, is that I've been able to sit and listen and try to find the answer to that question that matters. The answer to that mystery question. Did they see it? Did they hear it? Did they know what was happening and not intervene? I've been able to sit and listen to the audio. I've been able to sit and watch the video. And so I want to talk to you, because Ms. Haley talked to you a lot about their acts. What they were doing that showed where their eyes were, how they were responding after the fact. Mind you, Tadarius Bean, Justice Smith, they didn't go dump water on their face. They weren't coughing like Kemp Hill. But that's just the things that they were doing. What about the things they said? What about the things that they said? Let's take a look at it. And as we take a look at all the things they said, I want to remind you of this language in criminal responsibility instructions. The encouragement of the principal offender is enough. Let's start with Demetrius Haley. Mr. Leffler talked about how Demetrius Haley fell back at Ross and Raines when majority of the kicks and majority of the punches were happening to Tyre Nichols. Sure. Sure he was. But the problem is, by the time he got to Ross and Castlegate, Emmett Martin had already kicked Tyre Nichols for the last time, and he was done kicking. Go back and watch the video. Emmett Martin was done with the soccer ball kicks. But because Demetrius Haley runs in and says, beat that man man's ass. What they want you to believe is the same type of verbal judo, or whatever it's called, that he was using on the first scene. He's not responsible for his kick, and he's not responsible for Emmett Martin's kick when he was done kicking. That reasonable? Is that reasonable? The problem, Mr. Leffler, is that on the first scene, when Haley was using that verbal judo, nobody blew Tyre Nichols' ass off. On that first scene, when he was using verbal judo, nobody broke Tyre Nichols' shit. But here, Ralston Castlegate, when he jumps out that car, when those men are already over Tyre Nichols, and says, beat that man's ass, he kicks him himself. He not just kick him, he looks for the spot where he wants to kick him. And I know the defense wants you to believe he kicked him in the shoulder, but you watch the video. You tell me if it was the shoulder or he kicked him higher up in his face than that area. But it's not about Haley's kick alone. Because once he kicks him, guess who starts back kicking him? Emmett Martin. And we know Emmett Martin's been kicking him in the face and head all night. So Haley is responsible not just for his kick, but for that kick by Martin. And even if he wasn't kicking him, Haley wasn't kicking him in the head, did you hear him tell Emmett Martin to stop? Did you hear him say, hey, don't do that? Did you hear Haley try to intervene in any type of way? You did.
Beat their asses
What
up.
about Tadarius Bean? Mr. Perry told you, and I would agree, the state agrees. Tadarius Bean is a man of few words. Doesn't say a lot. You'll watch those videos, and you will see a lot of other officers are saying a lot more. Tadarius Bean hardly says anything out there on the scene. But the one thing that he does say lets you know he saw what was going on. He was aware of what was going on. Emmett Martin is talking about those haymakers he was giving Tyre Nichols. Talking about how he was rocking Tyre Nichols. And what does Tadarius Bean say? He was eating them hoes. Talking about the licks. Desmond Mills told us that. He was talking about the licks that Emmett Martin was throwing and that Tyre Nichols was eating or taking. Let's play this video.
Shop the Hendrix Spring Sales Event. Drive with 0 down. Payment deferral option.
I'll play it one more time.
Come on, man. I want to go. He walked that machine out here. Come on, man. I want to go. He walked that machine out here.
He was eating them hoes. Talking about the licks Emmett Martin was throwing, that the licks that Tyre Nichols was taking. And even in that clip, you see him wide-eyed, it's like he is in the courtroom. Not closing his eyes, not wiping his eyes, not showing that he's affected by the pepper spray that he says was blinding. Nothing. What about Justin Smith? Well, unlike Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith had a whole lot to say that night. He had a whole lot to say that showed he wasn't experiencing tunnel vision. He could hear, he could see what was happening. Mill's body was on camera. Twice you're gonna see and you're gonna hear, more importantly, Justin Smith say hit him. The first time he says hit him, he's talking to Mills. He's telling Mills.
Approach, Your Honor.
Woo, she was eating Ted ass up. She's not going to do to my client what she just did to Bean and Hype. She's just not going to do that to Smith. She's not going to do.
Approach, Your Honor.
Well, unlike Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith had a whole lot to say that night.
Redirect Your Honor.
He had a whole lot to say.
I can't sit here and allow her to do that.
He wasn't experiencing tunnel vision. He could hear, he could see what was happening. Mill's body was on camera. Twice you're gonna see and you're gonna hear, more importantly, Justin Smith say hit him. The first time he says hit him, he's talking to Mills. He's telling Mills.
Approach, Your Honor.
That is eating some more. He done lost some more hair right there, ain't he? From last night. It done went back some more. I bet you he touched it and it just slide off. Baby, them nerves got that hair. What? He got a whole. He heard his name and that hair says, zoom. Redirect Your Honor. She ate shit up out of Bean. She's not going to do that shit to my client. I'm just not going to. She's not going to eat them like that and spit their asses out. Woo! Oh, you nervous now. You feel the heat rising up. The devil done left you now. You all by yourself. They don't have nothing to say to each other. Y'all didn't render aid. I don't know what made me say that. The devil used me.
Justin Smith was saying hit him. First time he says hit him, he's talking to Mills. Mills is taking it, baton out. Tyre Nichols, because you can hear it on the ground, is trying to get up off the ground. So when Tyre Nichols does get off the ground, because they made a big point this week and last week about how Tyre Nichols was not responding to the spray. Tyre Nichols was not responding to the baton strike. You're going to see on that video, Tyre Nichols responded to the first baton strike. He was trying to get up and run. I've been kicked twice now, hit with the baton. I'm trying to get up. As he gets up, Bean having one arm, Smith having one arm, Smith says hit him again. And this time, you're going to see Andy Martin hit him right after. He's talking to Andy Martin.
You got to get off my ass! Get the fuck out! Get the fucking ass!
So as these hits by Emmett Martin are going on, after Justice Smith said hit him the second time, what do we see? The direction that all these men are looking. Nobody's looking down. Nobody's looking off. You see Emmett Martin to the far right. You see Tadarius Bean with the hook, with the sully. You see Justin Smith with the shoes. Tyre Nichols looking forward, leaning forward from those hits.
They got his hand.
Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, all looking in the same direction.
They got his hand.
They were hearing those hits. They were seeing those hits. Same eyes. But they want you to believe that Tadarius Bean and Justin Smith are looking down the entire time. There's Tadarius Bean looking up Mills' body worn camera. Not affected by pepper spray. Not blind. Seeing those licks. Hearing those licks. What else did Justin Smith say that night? I hit that man with so many pieces. Bean was rocking. I jumped in and started rocking. And after this is over, we're not done, but after this was over, those fist bumps, that encouragement that Miss Hadley said these guys were giving each other, you the real MVP. You press play, Miss Hadley.
Hey, you good, bro?
You the real MVP. Now this one, we took turns giving him pieces. The words of Justin Smith. We took turns giving him pieces. But wait a minute. Why would Justin Smith be saying we took turns giving him pieces? It was only Emmett Martin who was punching Tyre Nichols. But that's because Justin Smith, and it's going to take some paying attention to. Justin Smith was actually the first one who threw a punch at Tyre Nichols.
At the second location.
Before Emmett Martin landed those haymakers, Justin Smith was the first one who threw a punch at Tyre Nichols.
At the second
It wasn't
location.
a haymaker, but a baby haymaker, if you will. He was the first one. See him with Tyre's hand?
I thought they couldn't get
Watch
his
that
hand.
right there. And Mr. Perry had it on his diagram yesterday. I don't know if anybody caught it. When he was laying out the strikes and the force used on Tyre Nichols, there was a little yellow line that represented Justin Smith, and he had a hand right there because Justin Smith was the first one who threw a punch at Tyre Nichols. And after that, you see all the big haymakers by Emmett Martin. But this last scene, it's going to take you to take that jury laptop, and it's going to take you to plug those speakers up to that jury laptop, and it's going to take you to listen closely. Because this audio was captured on their body cam. And it was captured after Emmett Martin was going around telling everybody to take their body cameras off. Some of those body cameras on the cars, squad cars, Justin Smith's body cam in his police squad car. So you weren't supposed to hear this. But if you listen, Justin Smith says, I seen Martin, whop, 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 and I said, just fall. Now we're going to come back and talk about this when you all finish listening. please, Miss Haley? That squeaky voice that we heard. That squeaky voice that Neil said Justice Smith has. Says, Martin got up and said, wait a minute. Wop, wop, wop. As he's describing the hits by Emmett Martin. And then what did he say? I said, please fall. Who does he want to fall? Tyre Nichols. Because he sees him being hit. He hears the wop, wop, wop. Then he goes on to say, it sounded like the licks. He can hear what's going on. But afterwards, there was something else that was said. It's critical to this case. And when you back there in the jury room with better acoustics and you hook that speaker up, you're going to hear Emmett Martin talk about those licks. I thought he was going to fall. But that man who took the witness stand for the state, as Mr. Martin likes to say, Desmond Mills, you're going to hear him say, I said, we about to kill this man. So why would Mills, who hasn't thrown a punch, who hasn't kicked a kick, why would he say, we about to kill this man? After all the deadly force used against Tyre Nichols, this police officer, who understands or should understand criminal responsibility, he doesn't say Emmett Martin is about to kill this man. He doesn't say Haley is about to kill this man. He doesn't say Justin Smith. We're all out here together. We're all in this together. We about to kill this man. Play it one more time, Miss Haley. It doesn't take monsters to kill a man. It doesn't take monsters to kill a man. All it takes is 2 soccer ball kicks to the head.
Did y'all hear it?
3 batons.
Did y'all hear it? I didn't hear it. Did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear him say we about to kill that man?
It doesn't take monsters to kill a man. After all the deadly force used against Tyre Nichols, this police officer, who understands or should understand criminal responsibility, he doesn't say Emmett Martin is about to kill this man. He doesn't say Haley is about to kill this man. He doesn't say Justin Smith. We're all out here together. We're all in this together. We about to kill this man. Play it one more time, Miss Haley. It doesn't take monsters to kill a man. It doesn't
Y'all,
take
come on, y'all.
monsters to kill a man.
So y'all not gonna hit the like button.
All it takes is 2 soccer ball kicks to the head, 3 baton strikes, 5 haymakers to the head, 2 more kicks, and nobody's saying stop. Nobody's saying don't do it. Nobody's saying grab Emmett Martin. Because that's the question. If they seen it and it was excessive, which every expert who took the stand said every one of those punches and every one of those kicks were excessive force. One said not justified. If they seen it, that's what it takes. Not one person saying stop. Not one person saying grab Emmy Martin.